That's freaking awful, man.
That's the reason for the season right there.
That's the reason. That's the reason.
My
Realizing you don't
my
know how to cook
family,
large game.
my maternal
Fantastic.
family, they came they came from a long line of Germans that like to invade other countries that actually could cook. And my grandmother could
The
not,
Huns.
and she passed that down to my mother. And the funny thing is, grandma, she was such a terrible cook. There's the famous memory of we're sitting around waiting for the Thanksgiving ham to finish, and all of a sudden, like the fire alarm goes off in the kitchen, and smoke, like this black gray smoke, comes like just like wafting out of the kitchen, and everybody starts freaking out, and you run in there, and the ham is on fire, like, and they get it all put out and everything like that. And come to find out that when my grandma, when she bought the ham, she didn't realize there was brown paper on there. She thought that's just how hams look. So she chucked it in the oven.
But hold
Because
on,
why
hold
not?
on. I'm cooking my first ham. Re-
Take
rem-
off brown paper.
remove brown paper.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's my family. I mean, I had to marry Andrea to realize what good cooking actually was.
And on that note, Andrea's already taken, so you can't do it. You can't marry her. Welcome to the PARAcast. I'm your host, Tomas the Boss Hernandez. Joining you in the four-walled room. Joining me tonight, the Salvation's Army's all-time kill leader, Robert Wyatt.
I'm number one. I'm number one.
You're
At least I'm
not.
number one at something.
When the Olive Garden server grades cheese, he makes them look him directly into his cold shark eyes. It's Kenny Terry. I didn't say I'm done.
I wanted to be intimate, all right?
Don't look
I'll tell you
away.
when it's enough.
Yeah, I'll tell you when. Keep going. Sir, I have other tables. Keep going. Keep going. And there's finally an optic as wide as that big Texas ass. It's Dave Blanton.
I mean, we've got Buc-ee's here. It's easy to do, all right?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's big in
Got
Texas.
pretty good snacks at Buc-ee's. That's all I'm going to say. As many
Hey,
matches as you shoot, you'd be packing a caboose as well, Tom.
You know, Dave, I mean, when you told me about Bucky's, I was like, okay, yeah, that's got to be impressive. I looked it up. That is huge. It's only when you actually go there that you're like, holy shit, they built a Walmart and put a bunch of gas pumps.
It's like 100 gas pumps and a small Walmart together. And
Yeah.
the bathrooms, there's probably, like, I don't know what the women's look like. You'd have to ask Kenny about that. But on the men's side, there's probably 50 urinals and probably like 30 toilets. And, 50 places to wash hands again. And they just keep one guy in there cleaning it the whole time.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
really clean.
Not
so
even
insanely cool there.
You don't
I've
even
never
get to
seen
rotate
anything
with
like it.
Brandon for cleaning the bathrooms. Anyways, I ended up going on an adventure. It was a very fun adventure for many different reasons, but I went to go meet Jason Kais from CNC Pros, and he made me an RMR plate for a Walther PDP. So it's going to be on the menu here soon. Fantastic plate. I drove like 8 miles down this dirt road to go meet him at a PRS match, and then on the way back, I had my son Mike drive for the first time for his birthday. I was just like,
I mean, all fun things start with, I drove 8 miles down a dirt road to meet a guy.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. I was like, oh, I'm like the windshield's gonna get exploded by a 300 Lapua Magnum or something like that, and I like this is just a big convoluted way to get me killed. So anyway, my son's driving back, and I mount this on the. Here's the gas, here's the brake, here's the steering wheel, and he drove literally 8 miles on a dirt road at 20 miles an hour, and it was pretty fun to watch my son drive for the first time, and he loved it. And so I got this. What would be the pronunciation of the Siley?
I say Siley. I don't know how to say it.
Quonset.
So this is the Siley Bull. It is a RMR footprinted optic with a pretty low deck height, and it is absolutely ginormous. I think
Tommy, is that thing is there like a frame, like there's a frame on the front and you can actually like you could put something through that?
It has sacrificial rings to protect the lens from impacts,
Oh.
so that the lens doesn't break. Like I'm working on a video review for it. I've taken it out shooting twice. Three or four times actually, because I was practicing. Shot a match with it, and I did a shoulder height drop test onto a piece of AR-500 steel.
Yeah.
And because of those sacrificial rings, it didn't break.
Wow.
It did lose 0 because the whole optic shifted, because I have it on a 41-ounce pistol, and the impact caused the optic body to compress, and it kind of shifted slightly. But I re-zeroed it, and it held 0, and it's going strong.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. Video does not do it justice until you get it out of the box and you put it up, because it makes a Delta Point Pro look like it's one of the Hollow Sun K
like
size
an
optic, like an RMR. It is what this is to what a Delta Point or an SRO is to like an RMR or 407 or a 507 C. That's what the Siley Bowl is to them. I mean, it is freaking gigantic. And the one thing that is nice is how much the side, I could care less about the side window, how wide the window is, but how tall the window is. It is, I mean, you get a ton of upward movement, like when you present or whatever. Like the amount of vertical space you have on the optic is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's a chunker. I mean, it's big, it's fat, it's wider than the slide, but as far as a competition optic, it's pretty fantastic. And the one thing that's absolutely crazy is that how low the RMR deck height is on it, and then basically your iron sights are always going to kind of co-witness on the thing. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
So I got the one with it's the 2 MOA with the 24 MOA circle.
Yeah.
And just because that's what they sent me, I was shooting a match with it yesterday, and I have said in the past I hate that reticle combo, but it's better than just a stupid little 2 MOA dot. And what I noticed yesterday is I wasn't doing it, but I was using the 24 MOA ring for anything inside about 10 yards. I was just hosing with that, but now I automatically was shifting to the dot for anything beyond that. So that took a bit of adjustment to where I don't hate it as much as I used to, because I used to just ignore the circle and go with the dot. But I learned how to accommodate the circle yesterday, apparently. So it's not as bad as I thought it was. But yeah, I shot a match with it yesterday, and you don't even see the bezel, as big and obnoxious as that is, because the window is so big. If you have a hard target focus, you're basically have tunnel vision anyway, that the bezel just kind of fades away. And I really do think that it makes a 507 comp look really small too. I think they're onto something there. I'm considering putting one on my open guns. So
yeah, and it has its side loading 1632 battery right there. The switches are recessed; they're not obnoxious. You got an up and a down, and they pretty much operate just like a Hollow Sun. The elevation and windage things are really small. They're kind of a pain in the ass. And then I got the 3.5 MOA dot, which if they really make a 6 for this thing, and it holds up the way that it seems like it's going to for $260, it is a game changer for pistol mounted dots. And the other thing is, it's so damn big, you could take this off and put it on an RMR mount for an AR-15 and run it on a rifle, and it seems to be well protected.
Really good for a rifle.
It's well protected. I mean, it's a fantastical optic. Everything on paper and so far, but we'll see how long it holds up. But it's going to be great, and it kind of makes a perfect little match with this Walther PDP as far as presentation and everything else. I mean, it just seems like it was made for this freaking gun.
Cool.
Forward irons, though, you forward irons kids.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Probably not. She's not your friend. I mean, it literally
cantilevers to the front just like an SRO does by about the same distance. Although its cowl is closer to the slide than an SRO cowl is, so the glass is actually basically right on top of the slide.
So theoretically, I could take a Dremel tool and just cut those sacrificial mounts off.
You could do the front. You could theoretically do the front one,
but the back's not.
Then it's a point. The
back is integrated into it. Yeah.
Yep. So.
Are we gonna start running scopes again on them?
Yeah, I was just curious. Can I get Jason Kais to make me
out the scopes on the Glocks again? And...
Yeah. Do you remember I was talking to Mark?
Get you a 6-minute mount.
Yeah.
The back in the old days they had those big Tasco scopes on their open guns.
Yeah. That's what is that we're going back to, you know, the 1X scopes on there.
Yeah, there's nothing new. We're just going back around again.
I mean, it seems that way. Went from huge to small. Now we're going back to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2011s did that too. It went from like double stack Paras and Caspian frames to no, polymer's what you want to have. It's like, wait, but I can machine grips out of steel and put them on here, so it's basically like a Caspian or Para frame.
Yeah.
You know what else would be a good idea? A big scope.
Yeah, we're always just going around and around.
Yep.
That's the way it always is. Nobody innovates anymore. They just recreate the old stuff.
And honestly, something like this is probably about as big as you would ever want to get on the thing. I mean, this is.
I'm just gonna make a mental check note of you saying that, because in about 10-20 minutes, somebody's gonna come out with a dovetail mount for your big old EOTech. And we'll be off to the races with that bad boy.
Well, don't worry. I know when Trijicon comes out with the Super Saiyan SRO, you're going to be all over. You're like, yes, finally, an optic for us. An optic for us.
I mean, I don't understand why they made that new one and they didn't put a larger dot in it. I mean, of all the things in the world, why not put the bigger dot in it? They went backwards to. I mean, like, this is for competition. Well, the competition people are all eating up the 5 MOAs. Why not stay with a 501? Why go down? I don't get that one.
Yeah.
I mean, say right, wrong, good, bad. I just don't get it. I like the SRO. Dave and I have had a whole bunch of conversations on this about, good, bad, indifferent, better optics, better quality, like all things. I like the SRO because it just keeps working for me.
Yep.
And for
that's
what
the
it
Delta.
is, I mean, like, it just keeps working for me.
Well, and that was for me because I like the Delta points an awful lot, and they always work for me. But I have this RMR plate, and I have this P30 that's getting milled by Langdon. I was like, well, I need another RMR footprint, and like, what do you get? And then I'm just literally about to buy an SRO, and I see Dave post that he got one of these on Instagram, and I asked Dave, and I look into it, I'm just like, $260. Like, fine, I'll try it. Get there, and then you grab it, and you're just like, it's as advertised so far. So pretty exciting stuff. Anyways. Robert, what'd you do?
So,
go ahead,
before
David.
you move on, that brand of optic, the Siley, I've tried a number of their different optics now. Like, I agreed to look at one of their dots for a video, and they just keep sending me, like, I've got probably 7 of these darn things now.
Wow.
But the problem is that they're good. Like, I can't see spending Hollow Sun money when the Siley optics are a thing. Like, they're basically the same spec as the 507, 407 type series, not the Elite series that has like the better electronics and glass and all that stuff. But the basic ones that everyone's like, it's only $300. Like, yeah, but the Siley versions of that are like $150. And I mean, they're made probably in the same plant, and the spec is pretty much the same, except for they use the same small batteries that Holosun does now, because Holosun switched over to the 1632
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
the one thing that I find kind of annoying, the one thing that's annoying from the Siley optics is it comes in a box that looks like it was torn out of like Donald Trump's heart. Like it comes out like this American flag, everything, and then there it is.
Yeah.
Yes. What country do you think this was made in? Not America.
On the shrink wrap, that's
People
on the
listening on
patriotism
audio, let me
heartstrings.
describe the box to you. It has 2 American flags facing each other, and it says Siley in the middle, and their logo is red, white, and blue, and they're made in China.
Yeah. You peel off the saran wrap and in big bold letters says "Made in China," and you're just like, all right, well, whatever you want. They're at least appealing to our ability to want to kill people. So good for them. Good for them. Robert.
What I do? I shot a couple matches. We did the indoor match, and for the first time, we had 25 people that showed up and shot it, and it actually worked out well. I've always capped it at 20, but I usually tell people, show up, we'll make it work. And in the past, we had tried larger numbers, and we went back to 20 because it was just too unmanageable. But I think we've actually got ourselves a good format right now, and we can push through 4 stages with a chunk of people and still get out of there at a decent time. Because I mean, it's a weeknight. People want to be out of there about 9:30, 9:45 at the latest.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. It worked really well. Then Saturday, woke up, went and shot the Slipsa match, and that was a lot of fun. We have so many great upcoming carry optic shooters anymore. I mean, it's insane. You're seeing the talent pool just get increasingly deep, and that's been a lot of fun just to see these new guys just really start to dominate in the matches, and it's breathed a bit of a new life into Slipsa, where we've lost some of the depth in our Gs that used to shoot and then kind of no longer do. And so it's been fun just to see a lot of people getting excited and actually coming out and shoot again. So,
quick question for you,
yeah,
because this is something I've observed. Does it feel like A and M have become the old B and C? Because we have all these new guys, and like within a year, they're scratching around the corners and getting their M cards. Like everybody's getting really good, really fast.
That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, Lucas, Chance, who's it? Brandon. They're all A's. I mean, scratching on the door of M. I mean, they're putting up M classifier runs, and they're fantastic shooters. They're doing really, really well. And so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're and you see them out there practicing and training real hard, trying to get better, and that's awesome. It's been great.
Kenneth?
So,
I have done nothing firearm related in a month now. I wanted to shoot that PRS match that was this weekend, but trying to remodel my downstairs before Thanksgiving, so that and working on broken trucks and work has taken all my time.
Yay! Because everyone needs trucks during the Christmas season. Yay! Everyone needs trucks. So.
Well, according to New South Park, you're a billionaire.
Yeah, shit, I wish. It kind of sucks, construction's supposed to be slowing down, so we thought we were going to 40s through the winter, and then we picked up another big construction job, so they're like, nope, we're working at least 50s for the rest of the year still. And I was like, well, there goes me hoping work was slowing down.
Yeah. I got told I wasn't going to be in the feeder division.
I'm glad that it's not slowing down, because I still need the work.
I was told that I wasn't going to be in the feeder division for Christmas, and I was like, oh man, I'll have to go to the package car and do all this stuff. And then I was talking to the guys at work, and they yelled like, no, their plan doesn't make any sense. They don't know what's going on here. We have to take trailers off property onto a space we rent to put trailers on. We will all be out of hours to be on road off that. So we need someone to work. And thank God, because, this is the shift that will be saved to me. We need someone to work 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I'm just like, oh, thank goodness. Yay! I get to do that. Well, at least the shift starts and ends on the same day. I will say that. Because 10 p.m. to 10 a.m., that's a mind F. Your Monday's everyone else's Tuesday. Everyone's a day ahead and you're a day behind. So it's just jacked up. All right, show and tell with Mr. Bland. What do we got, David? What's the hotness? What are we working on?
Well, we already talked about the Siley Bull. You guys fill some dead space. I'll go back to the safe real quick.
He's going to the safe. Of course, it's only 3 feet away because he's got this ball.
But you should check out that recording studio, man.
And he's got the lights on the background,
flashy, microphone, and that I don't know that reddish back. It's so beautiful.
It's also my. It's the movie.
It looks like a TV. It looks like a. I was gonna say it looks like there's a theater in the back right there.
That's all it is.
Dude, you should have seen this theater. That we went to one of our suppliers, and they showed us their theater room, and that is better than the best theater I've ever been in my entire life. And we asked him, like, oh, how much does this thing cost? Well, about $1 million, 1.5.
I don't have that problem. I have the cheapest projector I could find, and I got the least amount of money I could get for a receiver to support what we needed to do.
Yeah.
So I got probably less than $1,500 into this bad boy.
Yeah, like the cheapest speaker in that theater was $130,000.
I like
No.
David's running the Siley of audio and video entertainment. He's getting the most bang for that buck.
No. So the Siley Bull is, what's funny is I had it on, a $3,000 2011 pistol to shoot limited optics with yesterday. So I shot a match with that, and it went really well. But what was funny is because I did a drop test with it, and then heated it up a bunch or whatever, I broke the Loctite loose. So by the end of the match, like it was rattling, like when I loaded and made ready because I used the optic to rack around it, I felt it wiggle. I was like, oh well, there's only one more stage. I'm just going to send it, and I did, and it would generally.
That's what we call pulling a Rob Chavis.
Well, I've sent it when
it wasn't that loose.
I've seen my Romeo 1 Pro get a little loose during a stage and kept going, and $30 in Sig Romeo screws later, I learned my lesson. So.
Well, it was going to be for the gram. So, every once in a while you got to risk it for the biscuit. So, yeah. But this is exciting for you people who are watching on Tom's YouTube channel. It is the Armazika AZP1. So you just said, what the heck is that? That is a Czech hybrid, kind of like a CZ, but also kind of a 2011. They're not cheap. I think the sucker's like $3,600, something crazy. It's like 2011 money, but it is 2011 build quality as well. And what's interesting about it is it is slide on frame. It is not slide in frame like a CZ. It doesn't use the little like barrel with a peanut like a CZ does. It has traditional locking lugs like you'd see on like a Glock or something. It doesn't have the lugs on top of the barrel like a CZ does. It just kind of pushes into battery like every other Browning action gun. It is ambi controls except for the mag release. We're not sure whether that swaps to the other side or not. Looks like it could.
Is that slide stop right in front of the safety?
I was going to ask you, Dave. Sorry, go ahead, Tommy. Ask your question.
Is the slide stop, is that what's right in front of the safety?
Yes, you can actually reach the slide stop with your thumb on the safety. Like you can do emergency reloads with this thing
cool.
Easily. And the way it takes down is it actually has a standalone pin that is not the slide stop like it is on a CZ. And it's a captured pin, so when you take it apart, you pop it out, but it doesn't come all the way out of the frame. It stays just kind of poking out of the frame.
Like a P30.
That's like the Omegas as well.
And the safeties are not 2011 safeties. They're more like the CZ Shadow safety. Or not Shadow, those are the skinny ones, but a traditional like large CZ safety. They're usable, not a big deal. The grips form a like minimalist magwell, which is kind of cool. So it would be a standard optics gun or a limited optics type gun. It has a firing pin block and a 2-pound trigger with super short reset. It has a really good trigger. I haven't shot it yet. I just got it on Friday and just mounted the dot on it. But they just started importing these. These are brand new. They're like super high quality. Like if I do the wiggle test to see if you can hear it, there's like almost no slide to frame play like you'd expect in a high-end gun. If I took the thing off, you would see it doesn't have 4 rails like you would traditionally see. It just has one long kind of monorail on either side. So it has, better engagement or whatever. So it's a pretty cool pistol. It's got these big indentions in the side of the frame that actually works as like a nice place to get your thumb in when you're shooting. So it's just a nice like memory pad sort of place. It looks like it might take CZ holsters if it's like a race holster. The trigger guard shape is roughly the same, but the slide is taller. So probably a slide-on frame.
What's the magazine?
The magazine looks like it's going to take 2011 magazines.
Oh, okay.
Depending on because there's about 1 million different flavors of 2011 mag. Like the Atlas mag stick in it a little bit, and I think it was the Staccato mag I tried it the other day. It actually drops pretty fine. But they all lock in, and they look like they're going to feed. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to. So that's the cool toy that I'll be getting a video together on in the next couple of weeks on this, and then I have to send it back. So it's not like one of here's a plastic gun to put in your safe. It's
is the bottom polymer? Gun.
No, it's an aluminum. It's an alloy frame, but it has a steel chassis. I don't think it's a in-level swap type deal. The frame is serialized.
Yeah.
But there's a pin here and a pin here, and that's what retains the chassis that rides inside the alloy, and it is a steel chassis. So
it's cool looking. I wonder if it'll ever get to the United States.
It is in the United States.
Oh, sorry. What I
popular.
That wrong. Like you'll start seeing it more and more.
It'll catch on. It's to me, it strikes me as kind of like, you remember Sphinx as being like the cork sniffer version of CZs. It very much resembles that to me. But basically, it's like a DWX kind of.
Yeah,
sort of.
It's just
pretty cool.
I mean, the price point puts it in a place of like hard to make that justification over another 2011.
Yeah, it's breathing rare air, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing I could show you from my safe, because this is coming too. So my buddy just got this back from the David at Masterpiece Arms, and I think they'll do this upon request. I think it's going to be a standard model eventually, but
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, MPA is where I got the the mag release.
So they've started, because if you're familiar with the MPA slides, they've got like these gills or whatever. It's porting. It's got 3 popple holes on either side. So this is their IDPA blaster. And since IDPA changed their rules to turn carry optics into open division, basically, my buddy Paul, he's been competing with these. That's the Gentleman Gunner on YouTube if you want to check him out. But he's been competing with these for, this particular, I think he got this about a year ago, and he sent them off about a year ago. He was competing in limited optics all year with these in USPSA. He finally broke down and ordered the steel frame version for limited optics. And so he got his old IDPA guns ported, and we shot it after the match yesterday, just we had a target up, but it was a shot up target. And it was amazing. We were shooting about probably 12, 13 yards. And we were able to return the gun as fast as we could pull the trigger within about a 2-inch, deviation shot to shot once we kind of figured out how to grip it or whatever. Very, very nice to shoot. It very much is like the XC that I have that I use to shoot when I shoot IDPA. So it's a pretty slick gun. I'm going to be doing a video with this in the XC, just comparing a 5-inch ported gun versus a 4 1/4 plus a comp to see how that goes. And my goal is to break the internet, because remember, IDPA gamer load is a 147 with just enough powder to get the bullet out of the barrel. With these compensated guns, if you order a 380 projectile, so a 95 grain, and you push that sucker about 1,400 feet per second, all the gas you're using like a CFE pistol type powder, all that gas makes the ports and the comp go crazy. And it's not a 22, it's like a loud 22 is kind of what it's like. And it makes the slide cycle super fast, but it doesn't jump around a lot. So I'm trying to break IDPA and show them the not really error of their ways. They made the game fun. But,
unforeseen consequences.
Yeah. The second order effects of trying to be inclusive. So I'm trying to make that a thing. I'll be doing a video on that here soon, because there's another cool compensator coming out, and I'm going to introduce that load to the audience with that video.
Is porting or like what is more effective, porting or compensators?
Kenny, you've been in the open gun space more than I have. You tell me. What do you think?
I think a comp works a little better than porting, but that's just a guess. That's what I'd feel, but I have nothing to back it up with.
Interesting.
That's my like, if you just go by like the diameter of these ports, like I did the math on one of these videos, and the compensator was like, I can't remember, it was like 5 to 10x as much space venting gas up as the ports were.
Okay, so here's my question then. If the porting is less effective than an actual true open gun, could you make an argument of giving porting the ability, like making that allowed inside of limited optics, and then making that its own unique, making limited optics actually something truly unique, as opposed to basically carry optics with a magwell? It's a thought. I have not thought this all the way through.
I want to hear Kenny be the old man from the Muppets.
Oh, I don't care. I already hate limited optics. Do what you want.
I really don't know. I mean,
it's like hitting an orphan to Kenny. It's not my kid.
It's just I'm trying to figure out how to make those two divisions their own world, because right now they're just the same, functionally kind of the same.
Well,
I don't know.
Would porting be enough? I mean, who knows what people do? Would somebody really port their gun for that one division?
I'm sure they would, man.
Somebody would. People think that.
People spend that much. Yeah, people spend that much for Shadow 2 in production. I mean, if people think there's a perceived advantage, they're going to do it.
Well, what's interesting too is with a lot of the newer guns, like for the Walther, for example, is like when we talk about porting or comps, I can go on there. Like Walther did it right because all their recoil springs are the same size no matter what, and then they have like this little spacer that they add so you can like use the compact frame with the full size, and so you can run the short slides with a long threaded barrel and have it inside the frame still, and so like they're future proof for comps and ports and all that stuff too. So I think literally every division's going to be open division in 3 years. It's just going to be
remember that thing how we're just doing circles. We're just going back to what USPSA used to be.
open and limited.
Totally.
Yep.
It's all open major and open minor. If you want to shoot open, then you get 29 or 30 rounds in a compensator, or you can shoot open minor and you get 24 rounds or whatever.
Okay, so
I'm
here's
actually okay if we have 2 divisions. I'm okay with that. 2 divisions.
Yep. Now
Here's
we have
scary, man. Have you looked at any of the numbers in these matches that have been going on so far, like this late in the year?
Mm-hmm.
Like Area 2, the 3rd highest populated division, I think, I may have this wrong, maybe it's 4th, but like Limited Optics has more participation than Limited at this point. And I mean, it's a brand new division. Like it hadn't even been around a year.
Well, I think a lot of people called that, right? If they made a division, it was going to kill Limited.
Yep. Yep. Well, if you're off there trying to kill Limited.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I thought they were going to.
fast and flat those guns cycle. It's like if you're shooting this game, back in the day, it used to be that everybody was just trying to get to open. They were just scabbing together their guns to build an open gun eventually. You're just living in denial. That's really what you want. You hate money, or else you wouldn't be playing this game anyway. So just spend it and get an open gun.
Well, that's the interesting question then, right? I mean, if we allowed porting inside of Limited Optics, would that then kill open?
No,
I just don't think so.
I don't know.
You still don't have the major
optics.
scoring. You still don't have big sticks.
Yeah.
There's something that people want to do.
It's interesting.
They want to flex with $7,000 blasters.
Like Limited's already.
Good, Kenny.
Limited Optics is already killing Limited. A lot of porting, maybe they'll just finish off Limited. I mean, what was it, like 10 people shooting Limited at Slipsa, which used to be hands down the biggest division there. I mean, like we talked about, people just want easier guns to shoot. They want higher scores. So instead of working hard, they just want to buy their way into placing higher.
Yeah, talk shit.
That's just a boomer statement.
Limited is also aging out to where they can't see irons anymore.
Okay,
like most of the Limited shooters
just shoot. I haven't been able to see my front sight in 10 years.
That's actually a question that Mark and I were talking about yesterday, because we were talking about actually everything you just said. Like everything's just kind of going right back around to where it began. But on the drive home, I had this thought that kind of came up in my head, and just think about this for a second. I would be really interested, because when did Carry Optics come on the scene? It was like 2016, 2017? Okay, so 2016. Yeah. What I would like to see is the average age that people kind of drop out of the sport prior to 2016 versus after. Because I had this thought that was running through my head that one of the things optics, and because it's become so widespread, has done is it's increased the age at which people can still play the game. Because you have older people, their eyes start to go, it becomes harder to be effective shooting an iron sight gun. But then and the only other option at the time was to shoot open, which was a pretty big chunk of money. But now you have this minor gun with a dot on it, and it's allowed older eyes to play the game substantially longer. And so I'm curious if the average age has actually crept up inside of USPSA after the introduction of the optics. I don't know. It was just something I was thinking about, and I'd love to see if there was actually data out there that supported or denied that.
Well,
I'd like to see that too, but I would assume no.
It's just young kids.
Optics, so they're all young kids.
They're all young kids.
Like, you look at Slipsa, they're all young kids. They're all 20 years olds.
Let's hold on. Do you think USPSA has the competency to be able to collect data and analyze it? Like, let's get real here.
Hold on.
Well, Jake can get the data. He can get the data. Whether what he does with it, or if it's actually put out there, the data is being collected one way or the other.
I don't think he has access to personal information. I think he just has access to like classifications and that kind of stuff. I don't think you're really talking about a huge violation of privacy.
Yeah.
What?
The ID.
What? Jay violating private? Well, weird.
No, Jay's
ahead.
not. I'm saying if USPSA released people's ages and associated with their member numbers, like that's not good. So hopefully he can't get at that, but maybe he can.
Well, if you're looking for a reason, like if you are looking for a reason to spend a bunch of money and shoot a comp, at least look freaking good while you're doing it. Head over to dominatedefense.com, get the best Mach 1 speed belt that's available, the best competition belt in the industry. That's what you got to do. If you're not doing it, you ain't bussing. Get off. You got to get out of here. Everyone knows you're uncuffed. That's the Gen Z language. So get your
I don't know
dominate.
what the hell you just said, but I trust you that it's important.
If you don't have a Dominate Defense belt, your belt is pretty mid.
Mid, bro. Midlife. Get out of here. Anyways, turn your ops into bros. Head on over to dominatedefense.com. Use promo code PARA10. You can also check out Precision Holsters Fast Holster, one of the best holsters in the industry. Check them out. Use promo code PARA10. Save 10% off that. And more bullets and more weight in your gun. Head on over to not Dominate Defense. Head over to W74 Guide Rods and Rune Tactical. Get a +1. Get some extra weight in front of that blaster. Get your spring needs met. Use promo code PARA10 to save 10% on each one of those.
When was the last time your springs were serviced?
Well, you know what's funny? What's funny is I got these Walthers and I bought the Henning base plates, and the Henning base plates are absolutely fantastic. I think it's the best design. And then I finally get my slide back, and then I stick the magazine, and I go to rack it, and both of my Henning base plate magazines won't lock the slide back. So I think I might have to take a trip over and get some springs for that thing. Anyways, take a trip over to Telegram. Ask us a question. We'll give you an answer.
I'd like an explanation on the difference between shooting a 124 or 115 grain and a 135 grain bullet.
Emotional feelings. Unless you're running a compensator, just your emotions and your wallet. How many bullets you get for the same amount of money. That's how I feel about it.
You can kind of tell a difference in slide velocity, like the gas, like all that extra powder you have to put in there to make the bullet make speed, so it makes power factor, does feel like it moves the slide faster, which translates to more muzzle jump because the slide is bottoming out harder in your hand. So a lot of people who don't have good grips will see the sights lift more, but as you develop a good grip, what that equates to is a faster dot return. So like the way it works is you start with the 147s because that you can see what your sights are doing, especially back in the iron sight days. So you start with the 147s, like I can process but as your vision speeds up, like it's cheaper to just shoot 124s, and it feels like it comes back faster. And then it gets to the point where you're like back to 115s, and I'll just shoot factory if that's what's available because it doesn't make a difference.
Kenny,
that's how I view it.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of knocked it out of the park. Lighter bolts have faster slide velocity, which creates more muzzle rise. I think lighter bolts tend to have less felt recoil, but the slide lifts more. But I like lighter bolts. I like to get that gun moving as long as your eyes can keep up.
And if you have a compensator, because if you think about it, it's what's leaving the muzzle. It's not just the bullet; it's also all the gas behind it. But a compensator redirects all the gas away from the direction of the bullet, so that the momentum backwards is basically just the bullet and a little bit of the gas, like the bullet weight. So it makes a difference. Like the lighter, faster bullets are what you want for a comped gun. Where if you're new, maybe try the 147s, are a little gentler and they're not as loud.
Yeah, an open gun 115s feel amazing. I was just always worried how much it was beating up my gun because it's slamming that slide back pretty hard. But they feel amazing.
And the last thing you have to consider is the construction of the bullet that you're actually trying to load for and shoot. Like a full metal jacket, you don't really have to worry about kind of like bullet weight. But if you're using like a lead cast bullet, then you have to worry about the velocity that you're trying to achieve with the lighter bullet. Like the heavier bullet, like the softer the bullet, the heavier you want to go, the more reliable performance you'll get with most powders, the less leading and other things that you'll get with that. And as you get smaller and you need to push that bullet faster, then you need a harder and harder bullet, because a lot of the 115 plated bullets are kind of hard to make power factor and get a load that's going to pretty much work consistently, meet power factor, be accurate and all that stuff. But like a full metal jacket, 115 grain, like you can do a lot with something like that.
All right, from Sebastian Munoz, what's the ideal Thanksgiving carry gun and position? Got to make sure I'm ready to eat.
The desert
shoulder holster of 1911.
I like
fancy approves.
The the Desert Eagle 50 AE just to the right of your fork on the table, facing as on the head of the table. You can do it that way. You can always pick it up and point and be like, potatoes, please. Potatoes. And then you can get them passed down to the side.
Well, it depends on how controversial you want to be. I mean, if you really want to start a fight, ideally you shoulder holster carry one of those Trump Glock
Yeah,
guns.
I was going there.
I mean,
way to go.
I mean, if you come, I mean, make sure you're wearing red, white, and blue flag stuff, and I think that'll get the conversation going at the family dinner there.
You think they make America great again tablecloth?
Asking
for a friend.
Possible at FedEx office, buddy. You want one, they'll print you one. It'll be fine.
I need one. Asking for the man in the mirror. Next question.
Let's see here. Has anyone played with a grip keeper? That's the grip in a 3D printed framework grip. Yeah, I've seen. I got one of these. They're hand grips. That's what it is. I mean, I was given one and it works. I mean, the nicest thing about it, if anything, is that you can actually like present a real firing grip if that's what you're trying to go for.
So let me ask you a question a different way. How much does one of those cost if you were to buy it?
I don't know. I didn't pay for it.
It's got to be at least $20,
$35,
right?
$35. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. How much is a Planet Fitness membership? About the sub $20?
It's $10 a month or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a gym membership and go to the gym and work out if you need hand strength.
Better yet, just come over to the
I don't know.
pasture.
You still need to work just grip strength.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
but you know what they have there? They have barbells and dumbbells and things that work grip strength.
I have a bunch of concrete that needs to get knocked out of my pasture. Just come on over. I'll give you a big sledgehammer. You can swing that thing for 8 hours, and you will develop a ton of grip strength.
Well,
you don't grip a hammer very hard when you swing it. I swing a hammer
don't.
all
But
day long.
also-
I don't grip very hard.
Well, maybe
Also,
you need
the
to
other
grip it
thing
better.
is the Absolute PT, or I guess now it's Spinal Flow Yogurt. Spinal Flow Yoga, Chad Riley, the guy that Steve Anderson always talks about. When I got shooter's elbow, I used his shooter's elbow rehab routine. That builds grip strength. That is awesome. Just go look that up and do that. It's like 3 different exercises that you have to do, and it's wrist curls to the back, wrist curls to the front. It's like full curls. And it's like skull crushers, I think, are the exercises that it's in. But it's all stuff that builds up your first of all, it healed my shooter's elbow within a month. But if you do it, it will build up your wrist muscles in an appropriate way.
Most imbalances that are happening on muscles from repetitive injury, like if you have shooter's elbow, like tennis elbow, or you have like problems in your neck. It's not because those things need to be relaxed. It's because those things need to be strengthened. They're stretched out too far because the opposite side is doing a lot of the freaking pulling. So you just work in opposites. But I want to hear Kenny's opinion on this, because Kenny's already got a job where, if you want to talk to people who have freaking hand strength, it's diesel mechanics. And Kenny says you have to work on hand strength individually. Kenny, your thoughts, please share.
Well, I'm just saying, if you think of people like Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, people that made a living lifting heavy fucking weight, they worked just their grip strength separately when all they did all day was work out, and even they said that it needed to be worked separately to have the grip strength. And it's all easy shit, twisting up weights, putting your hands in buckets of sand, gripping the sand. It's little things that you don't think about the grip strength, and that's what these guys did for a living, was just move heavy weight. And so I'd say if that's their actual job that they've made millions of dollars on, when they say you need to work it separately, I would listen to them. I mean, sure.
My implication was you should do those kinds of exercises at the gym and not spend $35 on a gripper.
Well, what's a bucket of sand cost nowadays in this biotech economy? $7,000. What's a bucket of sand?
I mean, just go get dirt in your backyard. I don't know if dirt will work, but I agree. Workout like that, all that helps. Like deadlifting, all that helps work grip strength as well. But I think there's things you have to do by themselves to work on it.
Right on. Next question.
Last question from Sean Edmonds. Build your perfect fighting pistol, offensive, not CCW.
An offensive Like
What was that HK that was
Mark
legitimately
23.
designed as an
Mark
offensive
23.
gun?
Mark 23.
Okay.
Mark 23 SOCOM pistol.
Why does somebody care what y'all think about this? It's like, hey, you know who we should get to answer this question? These dudes who've never pointed a gun at another dude.
Wait a second. That dude.
Speak for yourself.
Hold on a second. They didn't know I was pointing it at them. You know, a parking lot is a parking lot.
All I'm saying is, I mean, I had three cops roll on my house. They thought I was pointing to somebody.
I would say this is a safe space, David, for people to mess around with because we will say anything.
So we're gonna LARP right now.
We're gonna LARP. We're gonna LARP.
Got it.
Well, let's see what's there now. I mean, compensators are in. What else is in? Dots are in. Big magazines are in. Flashlights and lasers. I mean, like, I think everyone would kind of come around with the same thing if they sit there and had to do it. They'd have like a 17 to 24 round 9mm handgun with either a comp or some ability to suppress it. Like that's what it would be. So it's probably what everybody had. Now, if people want absolute malice in their heart, then they'll step up and the caliber will change. And the caliber will get... Well, I would say sane people would choose the 9mm. The same people would choose a 9mm like the flex for a handgun. And then the psychopathy extends from there in both directions. When you see a guy have like the most dangerous man might have like a 50 round Ruger 1022 Charger with like a bunch of suppressors, like that dude's freaking scary. He's dangerous. And then when you see the other guy who's got like the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum with the stock on it, and then like the handgun hunting scope is like, he's also dangerous. Stay away from him. But as long as someone's answering 9mm with some sort of like muzzle device on the end of it, I think mostly sane.
So does the answer change if instead of offense you change to offensive?
Offense, yeah. I mean, you could do it.
I think the color changes at that point. It's just the color and what you get Cerakoted onto it.
Generally, the best here's the thought. The best weapon for defending yourself when you're caught behind the best weapon for defending yourself in an open situation is probably the best weapon to move forward with, because that's why everyone uses them. It's the same thing. But don't move forward with anything.
We've
that's the
devoted
last question.
brain cells to this one. Okay.
Don't move forward with them. Don't be a crazy person. Don't be a weirdo. Be a lovely human being.
This show.
I know. Well, you don't choose your audience. You get what you get. Robert, is that it?
That was it.
Thanks for downloading, listening, subscribing. Thanks for doing everything that you can. Thanks for Dave Bland for hanging on with us for an hour and a billion getting everyone's audio working. Shame on Tom, shame on Robert for not having their stuff sorted out. Praise to Kenny for being on the show and having all his stuff work.
The Rock.
The
Rock.
Rock.
The Rock that you guys build this show around. Kenny.
Once every 3 weeks I'm here.
they call him Cephas. So thanks for doing all that.
He's just like a diesel motor. He's just like always working.
I wouldn't. Diesel motors, well, at least our CNGs too. Our CNGs are not very great.
Any modern diesel engine piece of shit.
It sucks. It sucks so bad. One of our guys just lost power going uphill on the 215 pulling doubles, and you lose when you no longer have a powertrain. You lose momentum very quickly and have to merge super fast. So anyway, thanks for doing all that, and until next week, for Robert Wyatt, Kane Terry, and Dave Blanton, I'm Tom Nelson, bidding you peace, love, and souls. We depart into the open waters of the sea of life on a little tugboat we like to call the PARAcast.
Good night, everybody.
Toot toot.
Well, bye.